The last race of the series brings us to Laguna Seca. California weather, just the California feel.
Pirelli World Challenge, who knew? Who knew we would have this much fun? Our competitors race us hard, but then they, come and give us a hug when we're on the podium, or they give condolences when, things don't go well. It's really a family atmosphere. It's bittersweet to see the end of the season.
I really can't be more happy with where we are as a team, where my partner is as a driver, where I am as a driver. We've had some ups and downs, but truly it's been a very successful year in more ways than one.
We didn't know how qualifying was going to go. We had changed the setup just prior. Cars were much better. We were much more confident in the car.
I was pretty excited. I felt that if I could just dig down and find a few more tenths, that possibly we could find maybe a top 3 finish for quali. Not only did some of the other competitors find some added time going into quali, I just didn't have my top game.
Unfortunately, there were some other drivers that were faster than us. At the end of qualifying, it turned out that I was in P9 and Martin was in P12. I think there was literally tenths in between everybody from 2nd to 15th.
So neat part is we'll be starting P2 for Saturday's race, which had been earned on the second fastest race lap time after our second Mid-Ohio race got rained out.
Race 1 is a makeup race for Mid-Ohio.
Sitting on the front line in P2, I had Scott Heckard beside me.
As always, we're going to race hard right to the finish. The start of the race was a little precarious, to say the least. Martin and the Sin car were battling, and Martin was bouncing off the Sin car, and there was nowhere for me to go. I had to let out of the throttle. And a quick glance in the rearview mirror, and there was just chaos behind me. I had Lawson on the other side of me. I had the Lotus behind me. In a situation like that, you just focus forward. You hope nobody hits you.
2 or 3 laps in, I realized where I was actually faster on the track and where, I'd given up a little to him. But we decided just to sort of stay with it. I think within probably a lap or 2, we had sort of pulled a little bit of a gap on, say, P3 and back. But we were maybe 8 to 10 laps in, I'm guessing, and behind Scott and I, there was some battling going on, and somebody had gone off and turned 5 or so and come back onto the track, just filling the whole track with sand. My spotter had given me that heads up as we were coming out of 4 and heading into 5, and I lifted. I broke a little earlier. Wouldn't you know it, Scott got into the sand. He drove off the track, opened the track up for me. Basically, I was able to, just take the lead and go from there.
As I saw Martin drive away from everybody in the field, my concentration escaped me, and I put 2 wheels off in corner 10. That allowed Sandberg to get by, and actually, I was kind of happy that Sandberg got by because I really want him to win the championship. He was really deserving of the championship. He's worked so hard. I just stuck behind Brett, I said I'm not going to pass him. Lawson's in front of him because he's going to need every point.
At one point, I was losing time to P2. I refocused and just sort of put my head down, decided to see what we could do. 2 laps after that, had stretched it up even to the 4 and then into the 5-second spread. When the white flag came out, I told myself, okay, don't be that guy. You've got to finish this race.
I saw Martin turn corner 2 when I was coming down the main straight. My thought was, I wonder if he's crying.
Taking the checker flag at the end of the race was pretty emotional. The guys gave me a car that allowed me to get there and to stay there, and I wanted just a big shout out to all the guys here at Mantella Autosport for doing that. The team once again, Mantella Autosport. My guy.
Good for you. How about bring your hands together here? 2 wins on the season for the team. His first, Martin Barkey.
You know, this is the last race. There's a lot of guys that didn't win the championship that are going to try and be heroes. There's going to be cars everywhere. I can pretty much guarantee 3 yellows for this race.
You know, a good launch, a little too much tire spin, but it was clean, good clean start for the whole GTS crew. Lost the position to the Porsche behind us that jumped. You know, really my game for the race today was to just keep my nose clean. I thought it was going to be a really kind of a dirty race.
After a couple laps, just kind of tried to settle in. About 5-6 laps in, Brett spun in front of me, and I thought for sure I was going to collect him.
I was able to find some positions as the race unfolded, but what would happen is the Camaros, the Astons, the Maserati, I'd pull them into that corner, I'd get away, and then I could just see them coming up behind me. They just have so much more mile an hour.
Coming out of corner 4, you know, the Aston, the guy's all over the place, driving off the track. And unfortunately, the track narrowed up a little bit, and we had a little bit of contact. To not go off the track, I corrected and hit him again, and he spun. After that contact, he got called in for a drive-through and went back out and put my head down and was catching back up to the leaders. But unfortunately, we had a gearbox failure, and that ended our day.
You know, the yellow came out, coming around onto the front stretch, and my car, the transmission, got stuck in neutral. 8 or 9 more cars, whatever it was, had driven past me, and I'm back in the back again. Went out, battled again, found a few more positions, and boom, it's stuck in neutral again. The leaders were coming back. They were on the back of the front straight when I had gotten to turn 1, turn 2, let the whole group go by, and then drove in and parked the car. Big shout out to Mantella Autosport. These guys just have what it takes, the determination and the knowledge and the skill. You know, I look forward to coming back and doing this again.
You know, we'll go away from this season and take everything we've learned, and next year, Martin and I are going to come back and win the championship. There's no doubt about it.